can be that customer has different view, for sure. Therefore, what we try to do at our IQ/OQ training is to give you the latest information, the latest knowledge we have, and our point of view. And with that, we don't go just through the qualifications and then say, okay, you do the qualification like that. We do a qualification, 1 or 2 tomorrow, but we rather would give you information and our side of the qualification procedure and of qualification in general, that you can go to the customer, make a qualification, whatever instrument it is, and if the customer has some questions, you can answer them, and you can say, Camag's view is. And for sure, there will be always something like, yeah, but it is common sense at our company that, or in our country, common sense that. And if this is different, then you have to, not to argue with the customer. You shouldn't argue with the customer, but then you have to negotiate with the customer, and then you have to say, okay, Camag's point of view is that, yours is that. Okay, both are okay, but then you have to find some solution. And therefore, we do not really just go through the qualification. We give you detailed information, and we update this information with latest. So, as I said, good document practice, it's a general thing which is seen as all over the same. So it is about how to fill out documents, how to move data, and in general what to do with results. So GDP stands for good document practice. As I said, more and more people tend to use the CGDP to referring to that current good document practice. So you will see the term of CGXP, so it means current practice of whatever, or good current practice of whatever. So there is a GMP, GDP, GLP, whatever. And what I said, GDP is a set of common rules how to deal with documents and records. So common is always a dangerous word. That's our view. Other customers or customers maybe see it differently. So during inspection, an internal or external audit, so internal could be that there is a QC department says, okay, we have every year we have to check is your procedure correct and are your instruments qualified, or external could be a company getting products from this company is performing an audit, or even worse, FDA. So we had in Switzerland this week, or not this week, last month a customer that had an FDA audit. So FDA came here, checked everything. The customer has to show documented evidence, so that's very, very important. Documented evidence, so he has to prove, and he has not only to prove it, he has to show the proof. So he can't say, yes, yes, I did it. He has to prove it. But certain activities like traceability, permanent records to defend justified decisions. So if you make a decision, if you restart an analysis, or if you say, no, that was wrong, I have to do it again, you have to defend why you did that. And also if you say, yes, it is okay, you have to defend why it is okay. So you have to say, that are the reasons that it is okay. And therefore it is really important, the first impression. So usually these guys, they know exactly where to search. So if they are from FDA, they performed already hundreds of these audits, and they know exactly where to search. And they do not have the time to really go into detail, so therefore they look around, and they say, give me this, and this document, and I would see this process and this process. And then they look into it. And if they say, okay, I would like to have the IQ and OQ of this Camag instrument, then they take it here, and they don't read it, everything. They just check, okay, results there. They look all, is it signed? Are all pages signed that have to be signed? Can I read it? some quite easy thing, but important. And therefore, if they see something like pages scribbled and forgot some signatures and things like that, he will then go, if he has two IQ OQs and here is one really in a nice writing and everything is filled out correctly, here is something scribbled and got signature, and here is a stamp missing and something like that. So he's going to that, and he will dig there, because he knows, okay, I can't dig all over, so I have to go at certain points, and he won't go to the nicely, and where everything seems to be okay, he will go to that one. And therefore, there are two things. One thing is then he will go on digging in your IQ OQ, and most likely, or maybe he will find something. And the second thing is also, it reflects in general the situation at this company. So if this guy is finding a lot of documents like that which are not fully filled out or in bad handwriting or things like that, then he will think, not that good. So he's going on, and he will most likely find something. So therefore, if you perform an IQ OQ, if you do something not correct, or if you forget something to fill out, this has no really impact at the moment. But it can have later on, so that there are two possibilities again. At a inspection, it is possible that the company is reflecting or is showing not very good skills in IQ OQ, and therefore maybe gets a warning letter, and then they will come back to you and say, hey, you did this IQ, and he said, not good. So therefore they will come back to you. So this is the not good, but the not that important step, but it could be, and luckily until now I haven't heard about something like that in Camag. If you do not perform IQ OQ correctly, and then something happens, like they produce some whatever pills, and the pills they are not good, and they have to take it back, then they will go and track and see what was the problem, and then they see, oh, there is a qualification which is not working, which was not correctly done, and they will maybe say, okay, this could be the problem, so therefore, I never heard about that, but the thing is, what I wanted to express is, we, and not only you, also the other guy from the company, is putting a lot of effort in IQ OQ just for the reason, or for the hope that nothing happens. So that is sometimes it's a little difficult to understand, because you do a lot of writing and you expect that everything is passing, you expect that everything is working fine, but you do a lot of handwriting and checking and a lot of time. And also the guy at the company, he is signing a lot of documents just to prove that everything is okay. This is sometimes really, you have to think about that, and to have this motivation to do it correctly, not just to do, anyway, it is running anyway, so, okay, I just say yes, 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 yes. So an FDA inspection approach is, what is not documented is considered as not done, so you can't go on and say, yeah, we did that, we do that always, no problem with that. So these instruments are running anyway, so that's no problem. So that's not working. So as I said, not following good document practice compromises the qualification and validation efforts, may lead to audit findings, leads to bad traceability of changes and results. But that is the problem. It's not something like the customer won't come to you and say, okay, you didn't do that, I don't pay you, or something like that. It is, you have done your work, but if you haven't done it correctly, then it could be that later on there are some problems. So there are just some examples. I took them, or we took them from the FDA homepage. So the review of the laboratory document and the training record showed that general GMP principles related to filling for forms were missed in several instances. Example, cross-out text, overwriting of numbers, missing field information, missing dates and initials, options wrongly selected, entries hard to read. So we will see that later on. The thing is that if you strike something through, the old information still has to be readable. If you make a change in the document, you have to sign this with your name and date, things like that. So these are the common rules. In the warehouse office, a handwritten instruction book was found describing how to make various entries to the warehouse computer system. So that's a common way. People are thinking, I have to make notes. Maybe they go for a training and then they make handwritten notes how to fill out. But this is really, if there is some external audit, usually the companies are always saying, just your personal notes and so, just lock them away. So this book was not reviewed. Usually it is not reviewed because it's your handwritten notes about some training to verify that the handwritten instructions were accurate. So you don't know if this is really correct. Maybe you did understand something wrong or whatever. Several instances were seen where the data instructions of unknown origin were found. During a tour of the laboratories, data of unknown origin was noted. This data was written on lined paper found in 2 different laboratories and on multiple yellow post-it notes. So post-it is something that in a controlled environment is absolutely no-go. So post-it is should be banned in a controlled environment. Yeah, and in the computer room, handwritten notes were found written with pencil on loose piece of paper. So loose piece of paper is okay if you write it down, but usually you staple it better. And pencil is clear. Pencil is something also absolutely no-go. Some companies even go that far that they need a qualified ink. Mm-hmm. Just one customer, I think, in the United States is referring that, or is requesting that you need to have a qualified ink. So as far as I know, there are 2, Parker and Caratage. So two companies have qualified ink.
I know a customer that has a specific pen. They have an approved pen, and when you go there, they give you a pen.
You have to.
Yeah, this is our pen. Oh, thanks. Free pen. So I never give it back at the end.
Yeah. The thing is really that with things like that, you can see that the fear of companies to have a gap, because you really see that during this training. So this is the training or the qualification is a chain of different actions, and if in this chain is some part is weak or missing, the whole chain, you can forget about that. That's always the same thing. So it's and companies are trying to make sure that they do not have such a blind spot or so, and therefore there is something like rather for me rather stupid, but they just want to make sure, so they say, yes, I do it like that. they could also say there is a general SOP saying that you have to use fountain pen or ballpoint, whatever pen, but with not a pencil or something like that. That would be sufficient. But there are some companies that are really, especially when they do not have a lot of knowledge about IQ10 and 21 CFR, so they try to just make it 100% safe, and this sometimes costs lots of nerves and time also. In the shift supervisor's office there is a paper titled Critical Alarm Analysis Report. A review of these reports revealed that reports are not properly completed, contain blank areas. So there's also something, if there is something to fill out, you have to fill out. It's not nothing in means not nothing, nothing in means wrong. If you have nothing to enter, then you cross it through and say NA, not applicable. Or if it's 0, then it is a 0, it's not nothing. So therefore you have to enter a value in there, either not applicable, so NA is my favorite always. I use that a lot because it is no is always a little difficult. We will see that later on. So some document basics. Documents drawings must have a unique document title. So usually they have a title and a number. In our case this is OQ of visualizer on the Vision Cats, and it is a SOP 376-2. So the -2 is document must have a unique, our file name is also clear. It must have a revision number, clear. And there it is, sometimes customer is arguing with you because last year you did it with the version 2 and now you do it with the version 3, because that's the same thing. So they are not really sure, so they checked the 2 once and they want to make sure that it is okay, so they say, oh no, you go with the 2, not with the 3. And therefore you can do that, but the thing is really that the latest version is related to the latest version of software and instruments, and so that can give some mismatches. So documents must include a history, so you will see on our documents at the end you have a history, a change history, what was changed in what version. Document must contain page numbers, so if there are no page numbers you don't know you can't find out the real way of the document, so it's giving you some problems. So the approval documents with an approval page don't leave checkboxes or entry fields empty. So we had, earlier on we had these checkboxes, but the thing is now, if you cross them here, is that now yes or is that no? You do not, that's not, at least in our, so in the Western countries, this cross is also seen as not good, so therefore it could be not good. And this is a little more, it's clearer. So but if you have here a check and here a cross, it could also, sometimes checkboxes we also say yes and we cross this, so therefore it is not clear. So we got rid of the checkboxes at all, so we don't have any checkboxes anymore. Cross-out sections not used, and mark them NA and put your name on it. So if you do something, an additional information in the document, like cross-out is an additional information, it is not needed. You have to mark it and also with your name and your date and the date. Follow the approval sequence. CCPS signs first, followed by the reviewers and approvers. QA usually signs last. So therefore, we have at the final page we have 4 signatures. So it is a signature of the CCPS. So CCPS is the Camag Certified Product Specialist, which will be you most likely, and then the company designer, we call it company designer. So this is the guy who is designed by or is from the company to say, okay, he is your contact in the company and he is checking directly your work. And then there are 2 signatures because we were requested to do so. Sometimes it's only 1 signature, but these 2 signatures could be from the designing boss and maybe QA, or maybe QA, the normal check, and then the release at the end of the boss of the QA department or something like that. Or they can leave it open if they want. So always use actual date, no pre or backdating. This is considered as fraud. So this is bringing me to something in general. Sometimes you have a situation like you have to stop here and you did a plate and you don't know exactly what to do, and custom says it's 5, I have to. Sorry, you can't stay alone in the lab. Then you have a plate, but you can't do it, and then you have different stamps and so. And then some people are starting to think of stories. How could I explain that best or so? So therefore, really, I always say stick with the truth. The truth can be somehow reproduced. So if you come back after a year and they say, hey, we checked the last IQOP and here we have seen that you had one part is with that date and one part is that, and here you printed out the report, but that was before that, and what was that? Then somehow, if it is the truth, somehow you will be able to reproduce that. If you made something up, like, I think, okay, come on, we make something up, we just explain that we did that and that at this day, and then you will never know what you did, and this construction won't be possible to get back, most likely. So therefore, I advise strongly to always stay with the truth, and the actual date is something, you can do a lot of things if you can explain it. So the top priority has always to be that somebody who has no idea what you did, doesn't know exactly the Camag instruments, whatever, he can go to the documents, see what you have done, and can see, yes, he did it correctly. That is the major thing. So even if you have to break in between, you can say, okay, I made the plate on this day, I had to stop, I wrapped it in alu foil, we put it in the fridge, and next day we went on with the qualification. No problem with that. And if you do that, even if somebody comes from externally and sees, oh, they had a problem, they had to stop because that. They explained it here, they will have some trust in your work because they see, okay, they not even just did something and then it was done. They did something, they were something thinking and say, okay, we find a solution and we went on, or they went on correctly and they described it. So even they will be somehow confident that if there would be a problem, you would tackle this problem and solve it. So
I used to have an engineer who was so careful with the documentation that he never made like any mistakes. And one of our customers said to me once, he's like, we don't like this because like it looks like he's making it up because like everyone makes mistakes. He's like, can you just ask him to cross something out. I'm like, don't worry about it, we'll get it.
Yeah.
You know, and just so it looked like it was genuine.
It is really, if everything is really
Crazy.
nice and no problem at all, it is too perfect.
Yeah.
That's really possible. And I really think there is no issue in if you have something wrong written to drag it through and to make it new. So no issue at all with that. So the thing is that it has to look somehow authentic, and sometimes it is. I know there are people that they fill it out at home, except maybe the acceptance criteria. And then there is, and then it is wrong, and now you can print out the pages. So they, I did something wrong. They print out this page new, and then they make it quite nice. I know there are some people doing that, but I think what I do is I stamp the ID on top, because if you do that in the document, I always forget to stamp the ID on top. So what I do here at Camag, I stamp the IDs of all and the rest I leave blank, and then I really do it at the customer side. Even my handwriting is really awful. I really have to stay slow writing and things like that. But I think it's really something that they know exactly. You do that. You do maybe 100 pages a day with that. And if you write like that, it's sometimes it's nice, but I don't believe it. as discussing. So use function pen or ball pen, no pencil for sure. Use blue ink, but also there is one customer in the United States, I think, they say you have to use black lead. If he says so, if he says use blue ink, whatever, if that is, he has to show you, look, here is our SOP. It says you have to use this ink. Then it's okay, why not? Also, with all the other things, like, that's the reason why we do this training. It's not, you have certain things that have to be fixed and have to be clear, like an acceptance criteria for scanner. If we say it has to be 0.18, the customer can't come and say, oh, come on, make 0.3, that's enough for us. We have those customers, they say, we don't use that today. 0.3. Then you have to say for sure, no. If the customer says, like, we say the ID is year, month, day, and if the customer says, no, we have special ID 7- whatever, no problem for us. Why not? He is deciding. Therefore, we say no other colors allowed in our point of view. If the customer comes and says, I have to have another color, it's his thing. It's okay for us. So as I said, date format is day, month. We usually write that underneath the date. So it is not 08, 06 something, so it's 11th July 2008. Also no American date format or something like that. So you can use, if you use different in terms of, if you have first the month and then the day or something like that, also that is no problem for us. The point is that it has to be unique. So, and clearly, so this date, is that now 11th of July or is it 7th of November? Or even it could be 2007, November 08, something like that.
One question is, the month in no capital letter.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not purpose. That's because this is already 10 years in this presentation. So you can use capital letter for sure. As I said, if they say you have to write 2008 July 11th, that's also okay for us. But what you can't do something like that, because this is not unique. You have to make clear which, and everybody has to see clear what date you were doing your